In this module, we will learn about setting up or adding the email sending domain in your product account. I always recommend doing it in the very first place before going ahead with any email campaign from Pardot. When it comes to email marketing, email deliverability has a great importance. So these are the few settings which will help you achieve better deliverability. To do the tasks or to configure this email sending domain in your Pardot account, you need Pardot admin and your IT team or your hosting provider who is taking care of your website DNS. Now, the big question, how to decide what should be my email sending domain? So the email address of your user will determine which domain is used when sending email. Such that if an email of a user is amit@examplecompany.com, as a sender, right, then whatever is there after the @ symbol, that should be the domain, or you should be adding that as an email sending domain in Pardot. It could be anything, any number. It could be one or two. It depends upon your organization needs or organization requirement and how many different email sending domain you want. You can configure that. Next thing is setting up this DNS level entry. You might be wondering why that is needed. So there are a lot more things happening in the backend before an email server letting an email into their inbox or into their server. So these are the few DNS level entry, which is acting as a proof or showing proof to the recipient email server that, hey, I'm the legitimate email. I'm coming from, or this particular email is coming from a legitimate business. I'm not a spam or other email. So this is how the recipient server is confirming whether an email is legitimate or not, whether an email is coming from a legitimate business or not. So that's why it is very much needed, and it is highly recommended to set this in the very first place in your Pardot account before going ahead with any email campaign or before going ahead with sending any email. Let's see. So it's simply SPF is a sender policy framework. There could be a whole lot of discussion around that, what it is, what actually meant, but we'll keep it short and to the point by keeping the Pardot in mind. But make sure this needs to be done by your IT team or your hosting provider. You can collaborate, a Pardot admin can collaborate with their IT team or hosting provider. All these three will be a TXT entry, a text entry at your DNS level. Let's see this in action. So once you are in your Pardot account, you click on this Pardot settings tab and then click on this domain management. Once you click on this domain management, you'll come to this page. You simply click on this add new domain. If you see, you can see this help text, which will help you decide what should be your email sending domain, or what you should be adding as an email sending domain in Pardot. Like I have created this udemydemo.com, right? So once you add an email sending domain, you should see there will be SPF entry, there will be domain key policy, there will be domain key, and now you need to work with your IT team or hosting provider who is taking care of your website DNS. If you click on this verified, you should see this is a domain and this is the expected entry, but in actual entry there is nothing. So you simply need to let your IT team or hosting provider know that, hey, this would be a SPF entry and this would be a TXT entry, and the value should be this one. And rest, your IT team or hosting provider will take care of it. Similarly, you need to click on this domain key policy. You need to pass this domain and the expected entry. And again, this will be a TXT entry. Rest, your IT team will take care of it. Again, click on this domain key, pass this domain key and this entry. Rest, your IT team or hosting provider will take care of it. Once this has been done on your DNS server, you can simply click on this check DNS entries. Sometimes it may take some time to propagate on the server, right? So you can wait for some time. So if you see this has been verified, this has been verified, this has been verified, all good. If not, then you can click on this error, check what it is showing here, right? And then go back to your IT team or hosting provider who is taking care of your website DNS, and then work with them to do the required. So to summarize why we are setting up the email sending domain in Pardot, so that we gain the better deliverability, so that recipient server can confirm that whatever email is coming, that's a legitimate email that's coming from the legitimate business, so that it won't go to the spam or junk folder. I would highly recommend to go to Google, just type in this implement DKIMN SPF email authentication. Go through this. This resource or this help documentation has been provided by Pardot, has all the details what is needed, and this will be a great help for you as well.